Dab e abrahajo, friends, and welcome to the StarCrossed Beavers. It is um,
StarCrossed Beavers?
I am thinking Beaver Johnny,
Oh my
and as
god.
always, I am joined by administrative Beaver Baron.
Oh my sweet
Uh,
church and Christmas.
how goes the colony today, friend?
Um, you know, uh, we chopped some wood and the wood came down and it benefited society. All things are better due to the wood.
I think. Well, be careful though, because wood is sacred.
Yes,
It's literally part of our religion,
wood is life and life is wood. And
right?
one would like to ask, how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could in fact chuck wood?
Well, that's a trick question because the woodchucks died out with the Who-mans.
Hmm.
If you couldn't tell, ladies and gentlemen, this is Timberborn, and we're talking all about beavers because this is a game that was made for me, and I'm gonna be telling you and Baron all about it.
So first off, I want to say much love to everybody who's here with us. We got Prim, we got Mini Yeti. I really appreciate you guys. The digital flesh, yes, the digital flesh that is wood. No, but I'm still tripping on the fact that this whole episode is going to be about like wood.
Yep.
You know,
Okay.
they say it's a lot of wood, but you know, there's a joke
Would
somewhere in
you
there.
rather talk about anything else though?
No, because wood is in fact the one thing that is on the table and it's on our minds. So, but please continue.
Right. So, you know, oh my God. Okay. There's if you have a wood related pun, we'd love to hear it. So put that in the chat. But keep it clean. A tainted, rotted wood will not be useful to the colony.
Yeah,
Um,
rotted wood. It can do more damage while still being used. But
that's right.
yes, and wood is essential to life,
It really is.
especially
It
in the
is.
Timberborn community.
So what Timberborn is, it sounds like some of you already know. It is a beaver-based city builder, but it's not just a city builder. There are resource management elements. So as you can see in the gameplay that I recorded about an hour ago, um, there's a lot of water on the map, and that's because of what we beavers do best is we build dams. Uh, you got to build dams to preserve the water because the droughts, they're very seasonal and they keep getting worse and worse. It's almost as if the humans wrecked the planet with climate disasters. Um, so we have to preserve what little we have. And on this map, it's kind of like almost an exploit where you just like have two choke points and you just create this massive reservoir that you're seeing. But we'll get into that. And for the Timberborn connoisseurs, as you'll be able to tell, I'm playing with the Iron Teeth, which are the one of the two playable factions. They're like the sci-fi. Uh, Even though this is technically a timberpunk game, according to the developers, I don't think I've ever heard timberpunk before, but this is one of them. And these are like the sci-fi of the two punked. Uh, so there's growth vats instead of traditional ways you raise kits, and we
Is
have.
that what beaver kids are called? Kits?
Yes.
Okay, so let me tell you guys something, right? Speaking of me calling the offspring of beavers by the incorrect term. I used to be in research. Like I used to do a lot of.
Look how cute
Um,
they are.
oh Lord, look at that! Look at the wood being pushed up and down and creating a pump. But I quick side story. So I used to work with a professor at a college, and I had to give a presentation in front of a bunch of different board members to keep my funding. And I worked with high predaceous fish called Peticulus rossilli, or guppies. I worked with guppies,
Mm-hmm.
and I during a major presentation, standing in front of not only my head professor and my boss and my direct boss and my boss's boss and the funding and da 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 da. I'm sitting there and I say fish babies. I was like, yeah, and the fish babies. Uh, it so the offspring of fish are called fry, and it just still to this day I have nightmares about that. But so
If you
yeah.
if you have a baby goldfish in a bowl and you shake it, does that mean you have a stir fry? These are the things we have to answer.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. We're sick people. But yes, continue with your kits.
That's right. I want to just point out here. Look at how the water actually like is real. It's not just like Minecraft water. It's actually rising in the riverbed. And then watch. Oh, there goes. It creates a cute. Oh my gosh, I love this game. It's a little waterfall, and look, it even has like varying strengths depending on how much water is coming through. Oh,
So their
Mona.
water physics is ridiculous.
Oh yeah, I mean it's a crucial mechanic in this game.
So based on what I'm seeing, the water is what gives you the visibility of the area?
It's not
Or is this like a
visibility. That's
oh,
it.
it's
All I'm saying,
literally bringing life to
it's
the
like
area.
yep, dried out. Yeah.
Got it. It from what it looked like it was opening up the map. Like the only way you could access certain things is if water was present.
See, as a resident of the I forget the state moniker. The Golden State.
Mm. Talking about
Whatever.
California?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh, think of it like, up north, luscious greens. And the more south you go, it just gets drier and, more miserable.
Don't get me started on the funneling of water in California and Salton
Maybe
Sea.
they need to play Timberborn, huh?
No, they probably need to stop playing Timberborn. That's the
Oh,
problem.
uh, see, thankfully there's no wildfire mechanics that we have to contend with. Um,
Is
can
there
you
natural
imagine
disasters that you have to
firefighting?
deal with?
Besides the drought, no. But then again, this is an early access. This is not a full game. It
Mm.
honestly feels like it though. Like they could just say we're done and it would feel complete. Oh, what's Johnny typing out there in road?
Oh Jesus.
And it don't.
Level 7?
We
No.
all do that. I
He just
mean,
wanted to
how
let
many
the world
times
know. Level 1.
um, you're tuned in live to level one?
But so Johnny, what
Yes.
makes this game stand out amongst other city builders outside of the water function?
The uniqueness of it all. Uh, so not only are you a beaver, I mean that's a big part of it, but we're gonna have to overlook that tiny detail.
Mm.
A lot of them they're kind of generic. You have your food sometimes. You have your tech and you research more buildings, which is a thing you do here as well. But that's like it. There's no real challenge or there's no like thing out there to that you have to prepare for. It's kind of like a just continue to expand and, don't mess it up and have like a mass like starvation wave or whatever and then just kill your colony. But in this, you have a lot of forward thinking to do. Think of the reservoirs. Think of I mean, in this case, those breeding tubes are tanks. They just keep producing more beavers. Unlike the other faction, which, they kind of just stop. Uh, they stop making more kits when the maximum potential population is reached.
Mm.
No, these guys just keep going. So that's like a constant battle of having to contend with many homeless beavers and the food demand just constantly going up at an exponential rate. And you have to contend with that whilst also finding more arable land. Sometimes you got to even make it yourself. With building like artificial bits of greenery spread throughout the deserty bits. There's a lot of thinking that goes into this game.
Okay. So that was okay. So for me, I've always looked at city builders as like endless puzzles that it's not a matter of putting together. It's not a matter of putting something together with a set amount of pieces. It's a matter of like building it as you go type thing, and you just continue adding to it. It's endless.
Yeah.
That's a weird way I've always looked at it. Do you? What was the word? There was something I was gonna say, and it had something to do with the terrain. You said forward thinking, and is there a story? Because there's often no story in a lot of city builders. This feels like it has a story.
There's like passive lore. Like
Okay.
if you read the descriptions of like some of the buildings and like the items and stuff around, the humans have disappeared. Like I think I even highlight over the text at some point in this video where it's like talking about scrap metal and how it's like, oh, this the humans must have had a lot of purpose for this. I love the descriptions, by the way. It's like whoever wrote them really was having fun with it.
Do they like
Um,
alter the spelling to give us like a fake imagining of what beavers would talk like?
no, it's in perfect English,
Oh,
the
okay.
Queen's English even. But it's funny how it's like metal in the eyes of a beaver is the one thing that's superior to wood, the unthinkable.
Like it's forever sturdy. It needs
It
not but
doesn't
our
decay in the
attention.
water.
Ah,
But
that's actually
yeah.
another thing. That's what I wanted to ask. Degradation is, do you have to replace things that you build because it is wood? And I don't
Thankfully
imagine
not.
beavers are like treating, and I don't see them using lacquer.
There there is resin, like
Ah,
tree sap
okay.
and stuff. Uh that's for creating sturdy planks. Now, that's in like one of the most recent updates, and so as a result, not too much is being used with that item or material yet. But the mines, which are like the perma metal deposits, because when you run out of like the scrap metal on the surface, then you have to rely on the mine, so you don't just you're not capped. Um, they use the treated wood, but curiously enough, submerged wood does not require it.
Mm.
Interesting. I hope they don't add that though, because that's like one of those things where it's just like
It'll kind of break
sacrificing
it.
realism for gameplay.
Yeah, see, that's always a real funny thing with a lot of games, right? Like, where do you want the fun to? When do you want it to be a game, and when do you want it to be a life sim? Like, where do you draw the line? And that, like me, as you can tell, I usually like to play more of the hardcore RPGs because I feel like you it forces you to slow down a little bit instead of just power leveling and, excuse me, finding like the perfect build to run through. but then I end up finding a perfect build and still running through. It's just a weird thing I like to do, but I always want to see how far they take it. Like, what's considered too realistic for a game, especially one that's built around building a civilization.
Yeah. Now, thankfully, city builders tend to let a lot go. Unlike some games, like this is secondhand information, but from what I hear from a lot of people that do the like role play stuff on like Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead and stuff, there is a lot of stuff that they add that sounds so tedious. But like, it's like part of the realism. And it's
Yeah,
I would go crazy, and that's why I've, not signed up for that. But, you know, some people love that. And I'm just not one of those people. And don't put it in my city builder, please.
no, I need a hyper realistic city builder where the roads are constantly having to be repaved because of the amount of high traffic areas. It's causing damage to the roads, so now they need to be updated, and then you have to figure out where the taxes go because it's like, well, do you want the roads to be upgraded and well kept so that it increases the productivity, or do you want to take a loss of productivity but have a higher variety of food resources to keep the civilians happy? And that's what I want. Hurt me
Okay.
with mechanics. And
You
even
want to play the souls born of city builders, huh?
yes, hurt me. But I see when you're clicking on the routes that some are different colors. Does that like affect the efficiency of getting around? Is that what that is
Uh,
about?
I mean, you know me, and you're gonna laugh at me,
Well,
but
no, this is why I said colors.
color-based pathing is always my favorite mechanic
Yeah.
because what the color on the path means, it's like proximity.
Okay.
So if you're going from a water pump at the north bit there on its own little island, and you
Mm-hmm.
have to bring it all the way down to the water cooler, or not water cooler, water keg on the other side of the um mesa, it's red, it's a
Ah,
long journey and it's not efficient, but it's still
got it.
getting done.
Got
Uh,
it. So it's not a game breaking. Not a. Let me stop. Not game breaking. It's not a game ending function. Like, well, is it like you lose water along the way? You lose resources along the way? Like, what are we dealing with here?
Water evaporates, which is something I
That's
find
dope.
very frustrating. Not It is cool. Like even if you don't oh, there's me playing with platforms. Um with the water evaporating. So the river that's up top,
Mm-hmm.
even if I don't have any pumps draining the water, it's still going down. And there was one drought on a different save file. It lasted like 2 weeks,
Oh
which is a
shoot.
long time.
Yeah.
And
How long is 2 weeks in real time?
um I'd say like one day is a couple minutes.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Yeah, it's not too
Just for
far of a
reference.
scale. Yeah. Um but the big problem is your water like reservoirs, because if they're not being replenished, then you're running out of water, and the river will just dry all on its own, which is very frustrating because you want to keep the river as like a strategic resource, and only pump it when you're getting low on water. But surprise, long droughts equal it just draining anyways. So you're kind of like in this catch 22 where you have to drain the river because it's being drained anyways. But if you drain the river, then you don't have that. The whole point of keeping it in reserve is for now, and so it's a balancing act.
Do you
It's
do you have some, like, okay, since once again we're playing a game, Is there a game mechanic to give you a heads up of what's about to happen weather-wise?
Yeah, at the top right there, where it's like the little bit of cloudy sky thing right
Oh,
above
okay.
the cycle. That's like the forecast. And when you see it like flash or have like a number being like 9 days, like that's either how long until the drought comes or how long it's going to last if you're in the drought. So like you do have forward planning, and there's no way to
Okay.
upgrade that, thankfully. So like it's either maxed out if you want to think of it that way anyways from start. And I'm oh god, please don't. Timberborn devs, please don't put like machine like a building in that increases or um requires you to have that forecast. Like let's just have that forecast, please. Don't
Dude,
add difficulty. Just
dude,
add more cool stuff.
what if what if they added a mechanic to like alter the weather? Like you get to go and like
There's just
burn trees down in other areas, like deforestation causes uh ad adverse weather patterns because there's no
oh my god.
or like if you drain too much of the water, that means there's not a and you or not drain too much of the water, but if you contain too much of the water, there's all of a sudden not enough to evaporate. So now the rain levels is lower. So now you kind of like caused the drought. It's like a weird balance. See, bro. I'm terrible.
I do, when we're like best friends um with the development team, I am the go between. You're not going anywhere near them. Do
Like,
not put
hey guys, like,
ideas in their head.
do you think we should add in a carbon footprint?
Look how cool that is. It's like a I don't know how you would describe it, but like it's like a
Is it like a steam windmill?
no, it's an engine. So like
Ah,
it's just like producing charcoal in there or whatever. But like
carbon
man, I just love
footprint.
this game.
No,
You know, what is dead may never die.
oh god, look,
Do,
I
do you see the world that's not covered by water? There are bigger concerns out there.
look, man. I'm just saying, you know, let's add some let's add some problems to solve. No, but okay. So I used to play what was it? I'm probably aging myself because I don't think it was 2000. Oh, it might have been. So SimCity 2000. I remember going to.
Oh, I remember SimCity.
Oh yeah, I used to go to like the public parks, the park and rec, and they would have like a computer lab and like a few arcade machines, and I'd be in there like running SimCity. I believe it was called SimCity 2000, and I just remember being hooked on doing nothing but creating unnecessary buildings. And then I think I enjoyed the coaster ones more because I would always make sure it didn't function right. Like it,
Intentionally?
yeah, intentionally just causing problems. Because once again, I was at the park, so it wasn't like I was gonna be there for just like I had an unlimited run at the game. So I just always cause as many problems as possible. See how far I can go and how low I can go.
Oh, I
Now,
see. So you just like lower the tax rate and just be like, well, good luck to whoever picks this up next.
right? Charging freaking just ridiculous prices for the simplest things. Like charge like $100 for water, but make the snacks like really cheap, but then make people more thirsty. So just on the back end, just killing it. Um,
Yeah, that reminds me of Thrillville. You ever play that on Xbox?
no, Thrillville was like that was outside of my city builder phase. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think. What's the last city builder I've like actively played? Yeah, it probably was SimCity 2000. It's probably back in like 2003. This is the last time I really played a city builder. I don't know. They don't really grab me. Um, Closest thing to that would, and I don't even think you would really call it a city builder, would be like RTS games.
Yeah, they're their own separate category, but they're
Yeah,
like cousins.
yeah. There's.
You- Instead
So I
of
guess
killing
what I
each
want
other,
is
you're
RTS.
killing
I don't want
taxes.
city builder.
Yeah. Oh my God. Can you imagine if XCOM made a city builder with like
I
the
honestly
in
imagine
like
that
the
has to be
Chimera
the
era?
bro. This has to be the next step with the XCOM world. Like you have the building aspect instead of just running a ship, you're running cities, and then you still have the missions incorporated. That has to be the next evolution. It
I
only makes
mean,
sense.
I can see it, but I don't think they're gonna do it.
I don't know, man. They're going card mechanics with Midnight Sun, so they're not above making drastic changes.
Plastic is the key word there.
But
You remember when we're getting off on a tangent here, but um Firaxis, they
mhm.
always had a policy of like keeping like 3/5 of the core mechanics and introducing 2/3 or 2/5 new.
Mhm.
Do you think they've like just kind of just scrapped that now and it's just like
Oh no,
ten
I think
percent new old and
no.
90% new?
Let's go through the last two games. Or the last game including the two expansions. They added in what was the mechanic? Well, with the Chimera, what is it? I was gonna say Chimera arc, like I'm
Chimera
talking about
Squad.
Hunter. Yeah, the Chimera Squad. They added in the whole aspect of uh, more so. What would you say? Action team based, not the
Um,
traditional. What's the word I'm looking for? Not the traditional XCOM mechanics, and then you're working alongside the aliens, like actively.
yeah.
Then they added in the feature of retreating, the whole extraction, like random extractions. That was huge because remember the whole thing was failing a mission was like the worst thing you could do. Like failing a mission was game over type business. But they made it with XCOM 2 where failing a mission is almost part of it. Like you're really not supposed to complete successfully every mission. That's almost how they set up the game. Even though I still, because I'm an old school XCOM player, I'm going out of my way to hard reset and try to accomplish every mission as a success with no losses. While at its core, you're more or less meant to fail. Like, why would you add a mechanic that has that establishes being able? What's the word I'm looking for? Being able to retreat at any given moment. There, I don't think there. I think there's only like one or two missions that you can't retreat from. That was a huge mechanic. That and then the Chimera Squad, the whole adding in. I didn't play it, but hearing you talk about it, it seemed like an entirely different function.
Oh yeah. I mean, the core of cover based, going around and shooting people, that hasn't changed.
Mm-hmm.
The actual combat is the same, but like, just you can't you just have like individual like you get like one of each of the kind of people and then like
Oh,
a couple humans.
there's a term for that. They turned it into a hero based game.
Sure.
Like
You get like
it's not a
the one.
customizable set your own unit up. It's a hero based thing where each person is a specialized unit that does a specialized thing, and that's it.
Yeah, you got your what are they called? The snake people. You
Mm-hmm.
get her, she's all sassy because she's a snake. You have your big Muton guy,
Can't
and
stand
he's
Johnny.
like, I'm gonna wreck it because he's a Muton. And you have your brainiac psionic sectoid guy. Sir, the calculations I'm doing it in my head. It's just like, oh, shut up. And then you have like your what are they called? The like hybrid guys that were like the bulk of the
Oh, the
active
spy dudes.
troopers. No, the like the skirmisher guys,
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I can't believe I forgot
like
their name.
the half human, half sectoid or whatever.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then you have like those guys and normal humans are like the rest. So
It is called
in
Chimera Squad.
we got that.
He said they gave that to you in spades. But look, the I in the point of them making the changes, because I really did have to kind of bite back at that. It's they have made enough adjustments to where I there is a complete difference between playing XCOM and then XCOM Enemies Within, and then XCOM 2, and then XCOM War, and then War of the Chosen. The whole thing of the Chosen actually adding in random bosses depending on which area you're in, and jumping in and completely derailing your mission. And they can jump into any mission. That's what was so trippy, and they didn't always jump in. I love the randomness of it, even though it frustrated me and it made me go out of my way to kill them like as soon as possible. Like I actively went at them and avoided doing a lot of other things and advancements simply to get to a point to where I can go and take them out so they're not in my way, because they would always come in at pivotal missions, or like there was a moment where my favorite my favorite character, not my I think she was my highest ranked character, one of the what were the sniper people called?
Sharpshooters.
No, the like the clan, you know how there was the grappling hook alien dudes.
Oh, the Reapers.
Yes, the Reapers. So she was the first Reaper that I had, and then she was my one of my most leaned on characters. Like I used her. She probably had the most missions, just because she was just super badass. Well,
Water.
she ended up. We're doing this mission. We had to go rescue somebody, and it was with the Lost, which are like zombies, and everything was going good and it was simple, but then all of a sudden the sniper dude showed up with his units. And for those who don't know, that there's three different chosen. One of them is a sniper, and he has the ability to tranquilize your party members and summon psychics who can take over and control your units. So he's a headache and a half.
The
He
spawns, their reinforcements are actually random.
Oh, well, this level, then I got screwed. Because this dude spawned mind control guys, and he was tranquilizing my soldiers. So it turned into a Saving Private Ryan situation where I had to like slow roll. It turned an easy like 15-20 minute mission into an hour long one where I'm like rolling in the dice, hoping for the best, save scumming to the max. Uh, and I ended up having to like and it sucks because oftentimes with this game with XCOM, and we're completely derailed.
I hope you're looking at this. I just put a little roof on it. It looks really cute.
I can't stand Johnny and his beaver. No,
I,
beavers. Did you put a bench for them to relax?
I did.
Oh
Look
Lord,
at him.
you let them
Uh,
relax. Johnny actually lets his beavers breathe. No, let me stop.
I don't know if you
Um.
can see it, but there's actually like the little like next to the drought timer. There's a little like clock with a hard hat on it. That's like you can actually set how many hours in the day that they're working,
Oh
and
Jesus. How
16 is
maxed out?
standard.
How maxed
Uh,
out do you have it?
it's at 16 at the moment. That's just the standard, like the developer intended workday.
You know,
It
Johnny doesn't
can
like
go
lazy
higher.
beavers.
Well, actually, you say that, but if you look at the left-hand side, I have 19 unemployed beavers right now.
Oh wow, look at Johnny. What kind of social
I
system do you have in place? Do
uh
they get to
yeah
partake in water and food resources, even though they didn't partake in the work?
yeah, but they get to go at the back of the line.
Oh
They
Jesus,
don't get it. I forget the name of the movie. I know it's like super like classic, whatever. Where it's like, please, sir, can I have some more?
man, have
You
some more,
know,
please.
they
But
they get hard shut down.
oh, but okay, so we went off on a complete tangent about XCOM, and what's funny is we're also supposed to, outside of City Builders and Timberborn, we're supposed to be talking about classic games. Now, funny enough, classic, in my opinion, is relative. Now, what's classic to me is probably unheard of to you.
Oh, on that, almost certainly, except
And
for ogre battles.
yeah, Ogre Battle. Oh God, don't get me started. Well, yeah, actually get me started because we're talking about classic games that still hold up. Now, I'll take point on this one because I talk a lot and I want to get this out my system now. Tactic based games, especially the ones that hit around the late '90s going forward, they hold up because the mechanics were so sound. There's very few things
What's
about them. What happened?
You see what I'm putting down right away?
Are you about to? Oh, are you building roads in the water?
Yeah, they
Lord,
don't they swim, which is really cute. I don't think I capture it, but they swim around on their little paddles. Not paddles, they whatever they're called.
and you guys in the chat, let us know some classic games that you believe hold up and that people should play and can still play right now. For me, grid-based tactical RPGs tend to hold up. Now that's what I like. I don't have a hard time going and picking up Disgaea 1. I don't have a hard time going and picking up Final Fantasy Tactics, Tactics Ogre, Ogre Battle 64. I never played Ogre Battles, The March of the Black Queen. And if you guys can tell, Ogre Battles is they're all named after Queen albums. But I never looked into the history on why that happened or who took or how maybe just clearly somebody was a big Queen fan. But what is do you think it's more of a genre of game or a specific game? Because I'm trying to think what specific one still absolutely holds up. No, Disgaea. I think above all, Disgaea holds up. You can pick up any Disgaea, crank it up, and it will hold weight. Story wise, the stories are quirky enough to where it's still cheesy, but the combat and the idea of getting your character up to like level 999 and doing like 30,000 damage in one attack combo. Like I feel like that'll never go away. Then you have things like the item world, which I believe the item world got introduced in. I could be wrong, but probably like Disgaea 2 or Disgaea 3. But was it in the first one? God, I don't know.
It
But I
was.
just feel like these games just hold their weight because of the core mechanic of it. The idea of infinite grinding, the idea of farming levels, farming characters, power leveling, getting the maxed out version of character of all different character classes. Because it's so many levels, so it's like, oh, I have the ability to unlock every attack, but now I have every attack max level. Now I have every attack max level for every class. Now I have every class max level. You get what I'm saying? Like and then I have my weapon max level. There's that thing of a borderline infinite grind.
Yeah.
That and I think that's why they hold up well. I guess would the word be timeless? Um, that's the easy one for me. That's my first like grab and go. Point and click adventures. That's a good one, Flameser. Those do hold up too. I used to really be heavy into text adventures. And funny enough, text adventure games are like old even for me.
Yeah,
I'm
I was
not.
gonna say.
Yeah, they're old even for me. Like I was just that weird kid who really got into them. But then you're talking to a guy who listens to audiobooks like religiously. So, that's all the way in my wheelhouse.
Baron doesn't
Um,
play games.
huh?
Apparently, Baron doesn't play games.
Right? Oh yeah, Baron don't play games. I absolutely don't. And but you know who really doesn't play games? It's Famous Entertainment. He plays no
Oh,
video games. What he does is he likes to boot up the game and he'll leave it in the menu screen for like 10 hours. But
He
no,
likes to install them on Game Pass but never play them.
never play him. We call those Game Pass bandits, and he's definitely the leader. He is Bandit One. What up, Master
Well,
Sith?
as long as they're even like a tenth of the wet bandits, I'm sure they're doing well.
And another point to make is that Fame goes out of his way to make web files out of all his images.
Oh, does he upload all of them on .pngs instead of JPEGs?
Oh no! He goes out of his way to make them web. The
Oh, web. Oh, Jesus.
web files. Like he
Oh,
is.
what a
So
guy.
whenever you go and find an image and you can't utilize it because it says web, just know that Fame ENT2K Fame ENT2K is a heavy supporter of web files. Now, moving forward. Oh, Sam and Max hit the road. Ooh, yeah, Sam and Max. I used to play like I think Oregon Trail holds up. Any version of it.
Zombie game?
Huh?
Oregon Trail, the zombie adventure game?
I mean, I haven't played that one. I think I own it. I want to say they gave it away years ago on PlayStation Plus. But it Oregon Trail holds up. It's I
You
used to
hit
be one of
the
those
first
people who go in
river.
just to hunt.
Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say until you hit the first river, and then like whilst crossing it, everyone gets dysentery and dies.
Oh yeah, my whole family would die of dysentery on a regular basis. It was a very common
I
issue.
never made it, not once.
I think I've completed it a few times, but my problem was I would always be overburdened with a bunch of meat because I was constantly hunting for no reason other than it was a point and click shooting game at school, and I just couldn't wait. I played Oregon Trail on floppy disk. Now that I think about it,
Floppy disk.
yeah, I played games on floppy disk.
Oh my lord. Well,
I
you know what? You know
I've
that's
seen
fine.
a lot of iteration of gaming.
You have, and never mind. Uh, when it comes to old games, and the whole reason I recommended this topic is because over the past couple days, I really sunk my teeth into a lot of people call a classic. Whether or not you, the audience, call it a classic, I will leave it up to you. Any guesses, Baron?
Um,
I'll give you a hint
Probably
as to
Elder
what it is.
Scrolls.
It is in that series,
Are you
and
playing
people
Blades or Morrowind?
Morrowind.
Mm,
Let me tell you, um, I'm gonna be really sacrilegious here,
talk to me.
and like the diehard Morrowind fans that like have been playing since 2002 are
This is a safe
probably
place.
gonna, yeah, they're probably gonna like, publicly demand that I step down on Twitter when I say this, but it is not that good a game. Um,
We got them, boys.
yep. I will say this. Um, I watched a YouTube video whilst it was installing, and let's just say I'm playing with God mode because I found out you can exploit one of the spell making, and you can just give yourself infinite stat points.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
I was definitely doing that. I was 100% crafting spells with low cast times or whatever. I forgot what the like. There was a mechanic to it to where it would cast. You could cast it over and over and over, and it would boost multiple stats. Um, that was the one where you got to make multi-level spells, right? Like you could make a flight spell and a spell to give you strength all in
yeah.
one. Yeah.
So what this entailed is you would have like, fortify strength, which, will increase your strength stat for the duration of the spell for however long it lasts. However, if you add this teeny tiny little effect onto the spell called soul trapping,
Yes, that's what it was. Keep on.
you know, it would never run out. So if you can, say plus 100 willpower, you just permanently gain that little stat boost. And if you spam that and say theoretically get all of your stats to 5,000, you're basically playing in God mode, and you can rival Vivek himself. And
I I remember picking up that game. I want to say on my OG Xbox, and I had no idea what was going on, but I just always remember like starting off in that small town and trying to break in and rob as many of the houses as possible. And always liked like the rogue thief builds. That was just always my thing. But then I found out about uh, casting spells and whatnot. And this is back when all guides were like text images, or like text. Like you had to go like
Mhm.
cheat CC, cheat code
all on
central,
the game.
um, yeah, or the game facts, like where they would do the images in the text. Uh,
I remember that for Grand Theft Auto cheat codes.
bro, legendary. Those talk, it was epic. But you had to are you doing demolition?
Yep,
Holy crap.
terraforming, baby.
This man is terraforming. Oh lord. Yeah, you got to add in weather problems. No.
It, it's a, it's actually really helpful because you can create yourself artificial canals and irrigate more land at once.
Oh, look at this man spreading out the water. Look, the road to the road to hell was paved with good intentions. But okay, so Morrowind. I had no idea what was going on. I don't think I got anywhere in the story. It was just so. It was the first game I've played where I remember being able to do anything, and it felt like there was nothing I could do, and it like totally screwed me up, and it made me look at all video games like they're a waste of money. Like, what do you mean I can't go there? What do you mean I can't open that door and go into that home and loot everything in existence and then walk out and sell it to the market down the street? Like, what do you mean I can't do these things? What do you mean that door leads to nowhere? Like, what do you mean you can't create a spell to make you fly? It That game really made me look at a lot of games extremely different.
Yeah, I will give that it was definitely innovative. However, there are not a whole lot of other points I can give it though, unfortunately.
Why do you hate it so much? What made it such a
I
bad
don't
game?
hate it though. It's just not as
No,
it's
he
not
folks, you heard it
under my
here. Johnny hates Morrowind, but keep going.
I mean, I did say at the top that it was not a good game, so I guess kinda sort of. But like it like before I turned on God mode with the fortify stuff, it's like, you'll swing for half an hour trying to kill a rat, and it does not have the same problems as you do. And like 4 or 5 hits from the rat, and it'll knock you down. How a rat can knock you on your feet and then just proceed to like unleash on you, I don't understand that. And thankfully, having like 1,000 agility, I think that's the stat affecting that.
Got you.
I don't have to roll a die to hit someone anymore. And I will just say thank the divines
Oh
that
Lord.
they got rid of that mechanic in Oblivion.
Yeah,
Uh
that was a definitely that was an interesting thing. The whole idea of the RNG mechanic behind the swings, but making a swing animation. Like if that was the case, it should have been a turn-based combat in a way, like maybe more KOTOR than anything else.
but like they're so rigid. Like how could you
Yeah,
possibly miss?
yeah, I give you that. I wish they would have did like a lower damage, like a glancing blow type thing, instead of just a complete whiff. Even though I'm like
Yeah.
clearly connecting that was a bad design choice, and I'll give you that. I will go ahead and I'm not gonna argue with you there. That I'll give you that. Now
Yeah.
continue about
So,
why else it was bad.
um, I will like I with missing with melee weapons, that's one thing. Miscasting magic, I'm actually okay with because not everyone can be a wizard. Although,
True.
you know, why they just instantly let you join all of the guilds is a little confusing to me. And oh my god, the ranking up with the guilds. They do not make it clear how to rank up. Like for instance, I had done like 10 fighters guild missions,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, okay, I was able to get a promotion off of doing one mission in between this prior promotion and now. What about now? Nope, sorry, you gotta keep going, champ. I'm just like, what? Until I had to look it up, because it does tell you, but it doesn't tell you that it's telling you, if that makes sense.
So what did
It
you have
you
to do to
have to
rank up?
have you have to have a specific like skill, like skill so like, if it's the fighters guild, one of the skills that they like has to hit like a specific number, or like progression threshold, where it's like
Uh
one skill needs to be 70 and the other, like three others need to be at 20.
well,
I don't
I
I don't
mean,
think that's the actual
it's
numbers,
stupid. Maybe it was just bad, bad mission design. But I don't think that's completely wrong. I think that makes more sense
like
than being able than the other games. Actually, like let's look at Skyrim. I could have like no magic at all and still get through the entirety of the Mages Guild.
yeah. I mean, but I feel like this is tying into what we were talking about earlier of
Game mechanics
gameplay.
versus
Yeah. Like sure, you can't become grandmaster off of like 3 days of work, but like at least tell me what I'm supposed to be doing.
yeah.
Don't hide it in like a spreadsheet.
No,
Oh,
oh, I'm 100% with that. I forgot what game we were playing. I hate like don't if it's a video game, it's a video game. If it's an action adventure game and not a life sim, let it be that. Certain mechanics need to be clear as day. But look, it sounds like BS coming from a guy who just beat Elden Ring, when like 90% of the game is, hey, somebody tested this out and found out this, and this is what you need to do. Um, and anybody who tells you otherwise is full of crap. That's why like people who are the first ones to find out something, like God bless them, because how how did you find out you were supposed to do this versus that versus this versus that, and that this person was going to be here and not there, and like God bless them. That's why they get paid the big bucks. Um, but
I thought they get paid in you get to play a game early.
well, for the ones making those guides, man, they getting paid. Um,
No.
but I I get what you're saying. Like you have to have that good balance of this is a video game and not something to try to make you age faster.
Yeah, and then one other complaint. I know people, diehard Morrowind fans are just like going to like slam their keyboard when I say this one, but the like there not being any indication where you're supposed to go.
I
Like,
do remember not knowing anything like what to do at all, any
like
way, shape, or form.
yeah, I mean sure, like the journal where it's like, you can't even track like a quest where it's like at the top, like you can't pin quests in the journal. You have to go to the quest tab and then scroll amongst this big list of quests because they all pile up. And you're like, okay, let's see what the notes say on this one. And, it's like, oh, you gotta go talk to this guy, and he's northwest of this town.
Oh, so you
Like,
didn't want to be a
okay.
real adventurer. Got it, guys. He didn't want to. No, no.
No,
Hey,
that's fine. Nine times out of 10, I did not have a problem with it. Sure, go northwest of this town. It's not hard to find these things. I was in Solstheim as part of the Blood Moon expansion. The dude wanted me to go southeast of his cave. Guess where the objective was, Baron?
where was it?
At the southern tip of the island. It would like east was not on that compass at all. It was
So it was the
straight
abs
south.
straight south. Maybe it was the opening of his cave and not the location of his cave.
It doesn't make a difference.
Are you sure?
Hardcore just lying to you.
Maybe it was on the
Like,
southeastern side of the divide of the island. Like, yeah, it was
yeah,
straight south, but it leaned eastern.
yeah. Oh, I see. So it's like, yeah, if you actually look at how, like, on your non-existent compass of how the position in which he's standing in the cave,
Yes.
then it's southeast. But ignore
You
the
know, I'm
fact that you
not. I'm not
exit
sitting here.
north.
Yeah. Oh God, we're over time. Look, guys, give me some of your classic games. We got Sam and Max. We got Point and Click Adventures, Grim Fandango, Fame. If you're still here, tell us what game you didn't play. That's a classic that you really enjoyed. Um, Prim, let me know what classics you got. So I'm gonna just rapid fire a few that people need to play. The Warriors, that holds up. You can go play it right now. One of Rockstar's best games. It needs a. I'll take a remake, but I'm a little nervous because if Rockstar was to remake it, it would have a bunch of like over the top animations, like
To
like
spend
Red Dead Redemption.
$400 real money.
Oh yeah. Oh God. Ugh. I would. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I would definitely go all out for a Red Dead Redemption, a Red Dead Redemption, a Warriors remake. Like I would buy the collector's edition and all that, and then like watch them re-release the movie in theaters and go pay full price to watch it again. Um, but yeah, what are some classics for you, Johnny?
Um, I'm gonna throw them both in because I think there's only like a year or two apart from them. Both of the LucasArts made Battlefronts.
Mm,
Um,
good ones.
I, I'm gonna say, uh, I'm gonna put all three Fables in because Fable 3 is not necessarily retro, but it's been quite a while.
I
Um,
like how all
but,
of the games we're talking about are like 2000s and above. That's
well, dude,
hilarious.
Morrowind is always labeled a classic, and that was '02.
No, but this is what I'm saying. Like, listen to us. Listen how absurd we sound. We're talking about classic games, and all of these games are the 2000s.
Okay. Well, go play Pong.
No, okay. Going past the 2000s. Super Mario World holds up. I want to say what? Shenmue 2. That's a good one.
Yeah, head down to your. Oh, dynamite time.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. All the arcade, all those. Oh, there's what was that skateboarding game? What was it called? 720. There was an arcade
Uh,
skateboarding game with a roller ball, and I want to say it was called 720. That game holds up. Loved it. It was like a action adventure skateboarding game. Like there was different worlds. Um, Paperboy actually holds up too. The game is ridiculous.
you've just
Uh,
reminded me of Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4, which was like one of the first games I've ever owned.
really? God, you're
I
so
mean,
young.
one of the my very first one, it's on record, is a tie between Battlefront 1
And the Burger
or
King,
Vice
Sneak
City.
King. Oh.
No, Burger King. I remember that. What was that?
Sneak King. Before we go, I gotta give another embarrassing story. So, you guys gotta remember the late night Burger King commercials where the dude was dressed up like the king and he'd wear the big head around the time they released all those games. Well, I wake up and I want to say this was around like when Paranormal Activity and other horror movie like cam horror movies started really making a comeback because of course they're not new. Go check out what was it called, Green Hell or Cannibal Haunt or something, whatever. But I wake up middle of the night, I always sleep, or well, I used to always sleep with the TV on, and I look and all of a sudden you see this giant head on the corner of my TV in the dark in the corner of a room, and I legit jumped out of my bed and like hit the wall because it just, I don't know, it was one of the creepiest things to wake up to see. Um, but yeah, I'm done.
What what a what a tragic tale there. Um, man. Uh, one more classic to throw into the ring is I of course just said it a minute ago. The old GTA's Vice City and 3,
Mm,
not San Andreas, because that's I mean it is a classic.
but it's too recent in your book.
Too, yeah. Why San Andreas is not, but Fable 3 is? Don't question the logic here.
Just roll with it.
Um, just roll with it.
I
It
hate
just
that they
wins.
got away from the RPG mechanics that were in um, San Andreas. There was a
Oh
bunch
yeah.
of RPG mechanics. A bunch.
See, funny, no matter how hard I tried, I can never get up my sex appeal, Baron.
All right, guys. On that note, it's been real. Thank you so much. We're over a little bit of time. Make sure to get all your news from LV1gaming.com.
What
Make
about the
sure.
weekly lineup?
Oh, yeah, weekly lineup. So, Monday, we have 15 Minutes of Fame. Tuesday, we have Cogs in the Machine. Wednesday, we have our flagship show, Double XP.
Oh, the
Um,
comic on screen now.
Oh God. And then Thursday we have Happy Hour or Take Two podcast. I think next week is going to be Take Two. And Fridays we're gonna probably go back to streaming. But next week, next week will be normal. The week after will be a weird one because of PAX East and whatnot. But it's been real, guys. Really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Hit that subscribe button. Share this out, and stay weird. Makes life interesting. Got any final words, Johnny?
I would usually say the moniker, but because this is Timberborn, I will instead, part ways with you by saying Dahi Dabalahaho.
Oh, don't know what that means, but we're gonna roll with it. Maybe it
It's
means
one of the voice lines the beavers say when you click
ah,
on them.
got it. May your wood forever be strong. All right,
Please play the
bye.
Timberborn and tag me on Twitter when you play it.
Yeah, check your wood. Peace.
All that and subscribe.